today was a very interesting day. Basically, there is there's a greenhouse basically, but they have some computers out there. They do some stuff. Actually, they do stuff on computers. That's very informative. But for some reason, they lost internet access out to that building. I'm like, okay. Well, we had an electrical storm, and it actually fried some switches and stuff in our office. So we had to have one replaced. And the process, we thought, okay, maybe they just didn't hook things up right and everything. So I go out there, like, okay, let's actually track this cable back, see if I can figure out what's going on. So I put the tone generator on the cable. Basically, you plug this little device in, and you go the other end with this little probe type thing, and you touch it to the wire. If that's it, it'll beep and everything. And so I was like, okay, let's try that. Look, can't find it. Okay. So then I'm like, okay, let me try this. I'll go back to the port. There's this port ID thing. Wow, people are just very, very stupid when it comes to driving. Like, literally, this guy had to slam on his brakes so that he didn't hit this one guy because he pulled out in front of him. But anyways, so I'm out there trying to check it out, looking what's going on with this. So I go through it, doesn't work. So I plug in this basically this little thing you plug into the port, and when you go to the other end, if you plug the cable in, it tells you what ID it is. So I go through, I'm like, all right, somebody's gonna lose internet connectivity for a few seconds. I'm gonna check it. I went through every one on the switch. It's not there. Like, okay, go back, talk to my boss. Are you sure this is where the cable goes? And I'm like, well, they're like, is there another switch in this other building? And they're like, yeah, there is. So, because basically, I'm the guy that I'm replacing. He's the one that had all this. He knew all this, but he didn't document it where all the switches were. So basically, I'm finding out. Now I'm like, okay. So I go to the other building, and we're like, okay, there's a switch there. I go tone generator again. It's not here. The cable doesn't go to here. Okay, then I actually use the ID thing again. And I'm like, okay, some people are gonna lose some connectivity for a few seconds. They won't notice it. So I basically go through everything again, and it's not there. So then this time, I'm going to lunch. So go to lunch, come back, and it's I'm asking again, what's going on here? So my boss is like, here, let me come over there, and then we'll see again. We'll try it again. So because the device turns off after a minute doing the tone generation thing. So that's my problem. Is I had to keep running back and forth because it would just stop sending. So he's like, here, I'll make sure that it's sending the signal, and we'll try it again. Okay, so he's there. I go in there, I check both buildings. The being's on the first floor, so it's not like I'm running, and it's not very far away. These buildings are. So I run over, check everything. The tone generator, nothing. The next building, nothing. I'm like, it's not any of these buildings. I have no idea where it's at. I even touch it to the line that's coming out of the device, and I get the tone. He's like, okay, this is weird. So I'll look again. We'll find out again. We look again, and we're like, oh, okay, let's go in this. Maybe there's this other building. It's a little building that really has like one computer in it. We're not that. He wasn't even sure if it was connected to the internet or not, or to the network. So we go in there and look. There's a stack of papers. There's a hub, not a switch, a hub. It still has a BNC connector on it. It is old. I mean, this thing is really old. If I would have thought, I would have taken a picture of the thing, but I forgot to do it because we basically tossed it because it's so old. And then on top of it, there was more papers. So this thing was buried. So like, I walked over and I was like, okay, and I picked up the paper because I saw the little gap. I was like, I picked them up, like, yep, there it is, I bet. And I ran back over, plugged the tone generator in, up, come back in there, touch it, beep, 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 beep. Yep, there it is. So basically, we just had to replace that little hub with a 5-port switch, and it magically started working. But yeah, I was like, come on now. So basically, the guy replaced. They wanted internet access out there, so he was like, "Oh, I found the way to do it." And basically, I think he buried a little conduit pipe underground and ran it into the building. Or he might have found that they had one there, and he ran it through it. I was like, wow, why in the world would you? I have no idea what else is ran through that pipe. I don't know if power's run through it or what, but it works. So yeah, I replaced that. And I spent way too long on that, trying to track down. And so this is something. Eventually, we need to map out the network, know exactly what port goes to what switch, which port it goes into, and everything. But right now, we just can't because we don't have time. But that is on the agenda. But man, spending that much time doing that, and like I understand, like, oh, it'd be cool to have a video of all this. No, because I'm not taking video inside of our switch closets, basically our communication closets, and our server room and everything like that. No, because that's something that hackers and stuff like that would love to see. I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, a hacker can get a glimpse of a screen, and you may think it's like, oh, you can't use that to hack anything. Oddly enough, that's happened before, and they have hacked things by these glimpses of screens. Like, oh wait, I needed that little bit of information there can lead me to this, which can lead me to this, which can lead me to this, which can get me that. So, yeah, I won't show video of any of that. Like, I think there was a company that showed a picture of their server room, and a hacker saw they had a certain switch which had a certain vulnerability, and they were able to gain access that way. If I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember. Like, I think it was they're doing the interview inside the server room, and that's what happened. That may be urban legend, but I'm trying to. I remember. I think it was one of my professors told me about that, or I might have read it on Reddit. I don't know. But anyways, I am going to get off here. I'm going to go pick up my wife from work and go home. And we may do some cooking with Rodney today, because I'm Rodney. I don't know if I ever mentioned that or not, but yeah, my name's Rodney. But anyways, talk to you later. Welcome to Cooking with Rodney. Today we're making a chicken meal. First, 2 tablespoons of olive oil and saute some onions. Then take a pound of chicken dinner. So need the chicken. Put it in there, and you will want to brown it. Okay. This is probably going to be a little weird for some people, but at this point, what you're going to do is take a tablespoon of olive oil and pour it in here, or approximately a tablespoon, and then pour a cup of white long grain rice into it. Here, we are going to basically saute this, I guess you could call it, but really you're just going to get your spatula, if I can find mine, and just basically get a few of the grains to start turning brown. Once they start to turn brown, you'll be ready to add the rest of the stuff. Just keep them moving so they don't burn. Okay, now we take some black beans drained and washed or rinsed, and some drained diced tomatoes. Add 2.5 cups of chicken broth, and then we add a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and half a teaspoon of chili powder. And the chili powder wants to stick to the plate. Okay, now basically mix that stuff up and bring it to a boil. Well,
simmer really. Let's start simmering. Cover it up. And drop your stove down to low. And then let it simmer for 20 minutes. Alright, 20 minutes is up. Now, what we're going to do is get us some cheese. You can use sharp cheddar, Monterey Jack, a few other types. It's like cheddar, sharp cheddar. Take approximately 2 cups, and just spread over the top. If you're good like me, you'll try not to let it melt onto the side of your pan, and let that sit for 2 minutes. Now, 2 minutes later, uncover, and we have our food. At this point, we're done. Well, not really done. Now, it is time for the best part. Get your big spoonful of it out, put on a tortilla shell, and have you some good grub. I have no idea where I got this recipe from. My wife got it. Me, don't put it on just one tortilla shell. Get you 2. Make you a second. Make a big old dinner. Because, as you can tell, I'm a growing boy. Yeah, a little bit more. That'd be good. Yep. Get off there. Yeah, forget it. I'm hungry.